So what I want to know is how fast can this recharge the AC180? And now we're all ready for the next test. Welcome to Retired for Life. I'm your host, Brian. I retired a few years ago after 30 years in a factory job as a machinist in a millwright. I needed to rediscover what life could really be like. When we purchased this property, the house had stood empty for over a year, and the property had been badly ravaged by poor logging practices. Since my retirement, I've been working to renovate the home and restore the surrounding forest to its natural beauty and attract wildlife back to the property. Join me as I learn about nature and working with wood to create the backdrop for this new chapter of our lives. Well, good morning YouTube, and welcome back to Retired for Life. Today we are again going to talk about the BLUETTI AC180, but with a difference. So I hooked the AC180 up to my circulation fan yesterday in order to run the battery down on it. I wanted to get it down to about 25%. And as you can see here from the screenshot from the app, it's sitting at 26% right now. Took about 5 hours to do that, running that. But anyway, it's done. So now what are we going to do? Let me show you. So what we're looking at here is the BLUETTI 350 watt portable solar panel. Now, as you can see, it's a big panel. And it's made of an interesting material. It's not glass, so it's not like it's going to snap or break or anything like that. And it is portable. You can fold it up and move it around, but it's fairly heavy. It's a little over 30 pounds. So what I want to know is how fast can this recharge the AC180? And we've got a really nice, almost perfectly clear sunny day. I'm not going to try moving this thing around or anything like that. I have it pointed south right now, and we're going to plug in the AC180, and I'll do a screenshot from the app and show you what it's doing. And then we're going to leave it. I want to see how long it's going to take to recharge the AC180. Now we know it's down at 26%, so we'll keep an eye on it throughout the day to see how it does. All right, let's get the unit and get it plugged in. Okay, here's our battery. I don't want it sitting in the sun, so I'm going to park it back here in the shade behind the panel. Okay. Now, if you've got the AC180, it would have come with an adapter for plugging your solar panels in. So we've got that in place. Let's plug it in and see what we get. Okay, I know we're hooked up. Let's see what the app is telling us. All right, I can see we're bringing power in. Let's take a screenshot of this. So we've got 186 watts going into the battery right now. And that should go up as the sun comes across. Now, like I say, I want this to be a real world test, so I'm not going to be moving this thing around to get the best possible angle on it. This is how I would set it up if I was working down at Bowmore at our off-grid cabin, and I'm not moving it around. I'm just pointing it south and seeing how well it does. And as you can see, we're already climbing. We're up to 190. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll come out every hour or so and see how it's doing. And while that's going on, we're going to get back to other work. All right, talk to you soon. All right, folks, we are just over an hour now, and I'm surprised to see it charged as much as it is. We're at 48% now, as you can see, and we are bringing in 242 watts, 245 watts. So the sun is coming around, getting more and more directly onto the panels, and it's doing a more efficient job. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. 25% in an hour, more than 25% in an hour. All right, we'll check it again in another hour. Well, there we are, folks. 3 hours and 30 minutes. We went from 26% to 100%. That's pretty good. All right, I'm very pleased with that. And now we're all ready for the next test, which will be a load test on the cell with the solar panel hooked up. So let's see how that goes. All right, folks, we are all set for our next test of the AC180 and the 350 watt solar panel. So I have got 42 boards there, and each board is going to require 2 cuts. I got to square up one end and then cut it to length from the other end. We've got our miter saw here hooked up, and we've got our solar panel all set up, and right behind it is the BLUETTI AC180. So let's plug the solar panel in. So we're at 100%. Our app, we will start up here. All right, there's our app going. So we are all ready to rock and roll here. Let's turn. So we've turned AC on from the app. Let's get set up, get my headphones on, and cut some boards. All right, folks, so the idea here is to not stop. I've got 84 cuts to make. Turn on my little LED light there for my cutting line. We've got 3 different sizes to cut. We got everything running right now. You'll see that there is 0 wattage going into the BLUETTI. That's because obviously it is fully charged. So what we are about to do is run the BLUETTI pretty much to its max capacity with every single cut. You'll see that happening, sort of thing. And let's see if we can get through all these boards. I think that'll be interesting. All right, let's get at it. So I'll be doing 1 square up cut on one end and then cutting to length on the other end. Here we go. Board number 1. All right, here we go, folks. Our last board. That's it, we're done. Well, that is amazing. I cut that as quickly as I could, and you saw how high of a wattage draw there was there. We're at 99%. Now we're at 100%. 0 wattage going in. All right, folks, so that is the BLUETTI AC180 combined with the 350 watt portable solar panel. It's a big panel, but man, does that do a job. That's amazing. That panel with that battery pack, I don't think I could do enough to run it down, because as you saw, we were running it at its maximum. Well, I'm just gonna have another quick look here myself, though my eyes are on it. Yeah, that goes up to 2,000 watts and then drops to 1,600. That's really something. Well, folks, I think that's going to be the end of our test for the BLUETTI 350 watt portable solar panel. It really did a great job. Now, as you may know, I have had the BLUETTI AC180 for a little while now. I use it on my portable workbench and that type of thing, and obviously when I'm working down at Bowmore, our off-grid cabin. And it's always been handy, but I usually have to bring it back and plug it in to recharge it. Now I don't have to. Once I'm down there with that equipment and I'm working on that building, there's no more need to bring that thing back to recharge it. Now there is a newer version of the AC180, which is the 200 version. So it's a little bit bigger, a little more powerful, higher surge, but that came out after my AC180 had been out for a little while. So I'm not sure that you can even buy the AC180 anymore, and if I had my choice, I would go with the slightly bigger version anyway. And with that solar panel, what a combination. So let me know what you think, folks. Have you had any experience with their solar panels or their battery packs? What do you think of them? So far, I've been pretty pleased. I've been really pleased. So the only 2 pieces of equipment that I have used has been our new 350 watt solar panel and the AC180. Now they have quite a variety of equipment as well. So just so you know, this is not a sponsored video. I am not paid anything by BLUETTI. Now they know I'm doing this video, so they were good enough to offer me a 5% discount code, which I really appreciate. I'm going to put that down under here along the bottom of the screen, and you'll also find it in the description if you want that code. So if you're going to buy anything from them, get a little extra off with that 5% code. All right, folks. So thanks very much for watching. Remember to stay safe out there, be good to each other, and we will see you out on the trails the next time. Now I just have to clean all this up. All these bigger cutoffs are going to be used for blocking in my walls. All right, we're off to the Bowmore site to stack our lumber.
I wish I had a mockingbird, I wish I had a diamond ring, I wish I had a pink raincoat, wish I had a pretty thing like you.